Hello and welcome back to the Fantasy Cricket Coach for another week, but this time we're back to the County Championship mode. It's been a little while, we've been off on the T20 Blast, but now we're back to County Championship mode. Time to switch that mindset back to the long format and the best format of the game, really. So today we're going to go through sort of where we left off in Game Week 8, what happened there, and then some players to buy, some players to avoid for Game Week 9 for this 2-block stint. So we've got 2 games now before the Blast takes back over, and we have the Kookaburra Ball as well. So some interesting changes, lots to go through. So starting from where we left off, Game Week 8, what happened? Derbyshire went big. Jewel got 378 points. He went huge. Derbyshire dominated that game. Notts dominated Yorkshire, having 3 players make the team of the week. It's pretty impressive. Some other team of the week highlights in there as well. Sam Hain, 245 points. I mean, despite what he did to me in the Blast, I think he's a great player. Could be a really good option too. Sam Curran in there. If he's in that Surrey squad, which I imagine he will be, he'll get great in game involvement as an all-rounder, and he always seems to do quite well when playing for Surrey, so I don't mind him as an option at all, actually. And then I think most fascinating in there, I think, is Rian Ahmed, continuing a fantastic season, being an impact player for Leicestershire. To be honest, he's been a batting all-rounder, batting quite high up the order and bowling when it's needed. And now with the Kookaburra Ball, he could bowl some even more overs and take even more wickets. So he looks like a pretty good option as well. Although Leicestershire do seem quite uncertain with their team lineup and how they're going to set up. So quite tough to see what his game involvement is going to look like. But Rian Ahmed could be a great option. So where does that all leave us? With only 2 transfers actually this week, despite all the squad changes and the injuries and player movements and things, there's only 2 transfers for us cricket draft players this week. And then obviously the Kookaburra Ball as well. So spinners going to be top of your buy list. Got to get a spinner in. High quality spinner in there, which I'll go through in a second. But for your 2 transfers out, these are some of the players you might be looking at. Marcus Harris flagged in the game as on paternity leave for these 2 games. Only 27% owned. Lots of managers need to think about sending him on too. There are some really good batting options around, so I think this could be a pretty productive transfer too. You could really, really target some of the fixtures and some of the players here as basically that's a free transfer as an expensive player out. So that could be pretty interesting. And then Sam Cook as well. He's earned his England call-up for the India series, so he'll be away with them for the moment and therefore won't be playing the County Championship. He's not in the first 11 for the first test, so I guess there's a chance that he doesn't play and they release him to play in the County Championship, but I don't really see that happening. I reckon he'll stay with the squad. So at 13% owned in the game too, still some managers might not be aware of that and need to get him out. And then the final one on this list, Ian Holland, one of the best performers of the season so far, but he's playing in the MLC in America at the moment. So it's not quite clear if he's going to come back for this block of games or if he's going to keep his form going in the MLC in America. It's something to keep an eye on when that Leicestershire squad drops. Have a look, because if he isn't playing, that would be a little bit annoying and might need another transfer out. I'd imagine he's staying in America. Maybe not, but at 21% owned, you don't want him in a team if he's not playing, so get him out if he's not in that squad. More tactical stuff as well. So some players and teams to target this week, so buying options. I've come across some analysis done by Dan Weston over at the Cricket Draft, the official game. So while I won't show it on screen, I'll use a couple of the top things that were in there to help guide some of these selection quandaries. So the easiest fixtures, I've got 2 Division 1 teams and 1 Division 2 team, and that is Hampshire with Essex away and Worcestershire at home. A tough first one really, but a really, really good second fixture. I'm not sure Essex away is the best fixture at the moment, especially with someone like Simon Harmer in that team. But they also haven't quite been on song this season, so it could be a good one to target. And then Worcestershire at home doesn't really get much better than that. Not much more needs to be said. They're struggling. Could be a really great one to target for Hampshire players. Someone like Dawson could be really good there. And then Surrey as well, unsurprisingly. They have Worcestershire away in the first game and then Durham at home in the second. So again, far and away the weakest team in the top division. And then Durham as well, who haven't been doing too well, despite I reckon them having one of the best teams on paper in the league. But there we go. So Surrey will have some holes in them too now, with no Smith, no Pope, no Atkinson, all off with England. There could be some maybe differential, maybe some lower owned players, such as maybe someone like a Ryan Patel that could come in and fill the gaps and do pretty well. So if you wanted to go a bit differential, Surrey could be a good one to target with the England troubles, but really good fixtures too. That could be interesting. And then Kent as a Division 2 team, I reckon they have the easiest fixtures in Division 2. It's hard to say. I'm not sure any Division 2 team has great fixtures, but Kent in there, they got Lancashire away and Northants at home. Lancashire have done quite well in the T20 Blast. I'm not sure if that form will carry over to the County Championship. Maybe their players are just finding a bit more nick, finding a bit more rhythm, but I'm not sure how much that really equates to County Championship form. So they have been doing pretty poorly so far. Maybe that will continue. And then Northants at home, it's a tough game, but also not a terrible one either. Some points on offer there for Kent players. So potentially two good games there to target for Kent. Could be interesting. And then players to target, specific players rather than the teams. I've got 3 here. I've got 2 up on this graphic, sort of 2.5 players, I guess. So Harmer, down as having the highest game involvement so far this season. He's a really good option as we head into the middle and back end of this County Championship season. It's later in the year now. It's very, very dry in England at the moment. So spinning wickets could be really great for him. And the Kookaburra ball too, more conducive to spin, really just points towards Simon Harmer doing very, very well. 8.8 million is quite a price tag for him. It's quite expensive player. But someone like Harris is big transfer out this week at 7.5 million. So there's only 1.3 million needing to be freed up there to sort of upgrade a bowler to Harmer and downgrade a Harris to a different batter. And he's not been quite at his best this season, only averaging 14 with the bat and 28 with the ball. But he's such a good cricketer. I don't think that says much. And I think he'll do really well in these 2 games. So definitely one to get in, I think. Next, Dan Lawrence. I spoke about how good the Surrey fixtures are earlier. I think he's a really good Harris replacement. As with no Smith and no Pope, it really might prompt him to have a bit more game involvement and step up with the bat. He's got the most wickets amongst batters this season as well, so he's got that kind of all-round ability. And he's also just a very good player who will score runs across the 4 innings. I'm sure he will. He's averaging 42 with the bat this season, and that's pretty good. He's only scored 150 and 100 though, which is slightly worrying, but it kind of just shows those consistent returns he's getting. He's not hit below 90 points in a single week, so that's pretty nice. He's also not been playing the T20 as well, so he'll be ready to go, off a nice break, still in that Red Bull mindset. Could be good for Lawrence. I don't know, Surrey might be getting Mitch Sattner as well into their ranks. I'm not sure that's confirmed yet. But even with the Kookaburra ball, I still think Lawrence could be used and could get through a large volume of overs, even with Mitch Sattner in there. So that'll be an interesting one to look at. They got Will Jacks too, but again, Lawrence has tended to be their frontline spinner, especially early in the season. So maybe they'll trust him over Jacks. We'll see what Rory Burns does there. But that'll be an interesting one to look at too. And then finally, I've got Yuzvendra Chahal. Not put him up on this graphic for a couple of reasons, but very quickly, he's another spinner. He'll be joining Northants for this stint of games for the rest of the season. He's done really well for them last season as well. He's a class player. But I think he's more of a white ball bowler than a red ball bowler, really. He's never played a test match for India. He can be very impactful, don't get me wrong. He averages 33 in first-class cricket and 33 in England. So I'm not sure how much that screams have to have and have to buy. But he's a great player and definitely someone to consider. So I thought I'd give him a mention. Yuzvendra Chahal, if you're looking for a maybe slightly alternative spinner that hasn't been playing so far this season, could be good. So yeah, I think that really shows how important spin is. If you're going for batters, someone like Rob Yates or Dan Lawrence, although again Rob Yates, Warwickshire also signed a good spinner, so maybe his overs will be reduced too. But getting some of those players in that could really have a great impact with the Kookaburra ball. There's going to be more runs on offer for the batters. Could be a great week for batters and spinners. So those are the ones to target, I reckon. And that's all for today. There's an overview of the 2 rounds of games coming up, some teams to target, some players to target, and some players to avoid. Thank you very much for watching. I'll be back in a day or 2 for my Game Week 9 team selection and transfers and which players I'll be getting in. But thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you then.